10 minutes before the top of the hour, welcome back to Wake Up America. So the one big, beautiful bill entering its second week in the Senate as it rapidly approaches President Donald Trump's 4th of July deadline. Republican senators are trying to lay out a game plan and a path forward, but some, they just say it doesn't stand a chance. For more on this, let's welcome in Ohio Senator John Husted. And before we get there, Senator, I do need to ask you about the riots in L.A., the president not waiting for Governor Newsom to ask for federal assistance. You previously served as Ohio's lieutenant governor. What do you think of the president's decision?
Well, frankly, it's terrible that Gavin Newsom didn't lead. We see the need for more deportations. This is the consequence of 4 years of the Biden invasion that it came because we didn't protect the border. Gavin Newsom and the mayor of Los Angeles should have taken control of the situation. They should have supported ICE agents. And it's really despicable that he allowed this to happen. But that's what happens when you create a sanctuary situation in California, because you're just encouraging more criminals, people who are here illegally, to come to your state. And the president, he got elected on this issue, and he needs to lead.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do now want to get back to the one big, beautiful bill. And so with all the pushback about this bill not cutting enough spending, increasing the deficit, over the weekend, the White House tried to set the record straight, showing that this bill would actually be the largest deficit cut in history. And this comes after a report from the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, that said it would actually increase the deficit by more than $2 trillion. I mean, does any of this, do you think, change the narrative and help fiscal conservatives get further behind the bill in its current form?
Well, remember why we have to do this. The tax cuts from 2017 are expiring. And it will be a $4 trillion tax increase on the American people, on small businesses for a family of four. That means if you made $80,000 a year, you'd see your taxes go up by $1,700 a year. That we can't let that happen. So this is a pro-growth, pro-family policy. It does have savings in it. We're really trying to get at this by helping Medicaid, preserve Medicaid for the people that need it, but also ask people who are able-bodied, healthy, childless adults, you're receiving very generous benefits from the federal government, and it's time you work in return for those benefits. You add all of that collectively together, you get the growth, you start to implore some discipline into our system, and you see the reduction in spending that it's going to take to make this budget pass sustainable for the future. I'm not saying we don't have more work to do. We should always feel the pressure to find more savings in the budget, but this bill is got to get accomplished because we don't want to see the negative consequences of tax hikes on the American people.
Yeah, Senator, one of the things that I took note of is when you actually look at the one big, beautiful bill along with the rescission bill that has also recently been submitted to Congress, that actually should help fiscal conservatives because you do get at the discretionary spending cuts that can't be addressed in the other bill. So taken together, a lot of that should be worked out.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Some of the savings that were identified with DOGE are coming to Congress right now, and that rescissions bill is going to give us the ability to reclaim a lot of that spending that the Biden administration had put in place. But there's more of that also in the reconciliation package, ending the Green New Deal, essentially, by reclaiming the subsidies that were in that particular piece of legislation. We're reclaiming those in the rescissions package. So a lot of things that fiscal conservatives can like about this bill.
Yeah, Senator, we already know there are two pretty hard no's right now. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, Wisconsin's Ron Johnson. And Senator Johnson has been very vocal about his disdain for this bill, and he's been doing it for a while. He laid it out over the weekend that we have a spending problem. Take a listen.
And my only problem with this bill is it just doesn't go far enough to address that big mess. No, nothing's really changed. I'll be sitting down with the White House economic team. I'm finishing up a report. I'll be issuing that next week that lays out exactly what this is, gives different growth scenarios, showing how difficult it is going to be to grow our way out of this. I'm all for economic growth. We have to address spending. We don't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem, and this bill just doesn't go far enough to address that problem.
Yeah, Senator, I mean, 15 seconds or so. I mean, is 90% of what we want good enough to get everybody there? I see it's going to be hard to get, Senator Johnson.
Well, we need to get this done, and I welcome the opportunity to continue to take more of the spending out of this bill to create more savings. We can get that done over the next couple weeks, but we got to deliver for the American people.
Nope, absolutely. All right. Ohio Senator John Husted, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. You're watching Wake Up America. We'll be right back.